Now Rizzy was just making the point, look, the work crew just moved in. And now we got all this we got to plant out. We're gonna thin back all the invasive species, the honeysuckle, the poison ivy, and just get really into it. And then we'll be able to plant out our elderberry. We're gonna try and get some apples in here as well. And then hopefully before long, we'll find out if these grapes yield us a good supply later on this season. We've already got some veggies in this bed here and some flowers and hostas and cool pretty flowers or pretty species. We've got our asparagus is coming up, and we got our drip feed for the summer season and to make sure that it's staying moist. Our raspberries are already showing fruit, and the elderberry cutting died at the top, but the root system's strong and it's leafing out again from the base. We got some more elderberry over there. We got some strawberries throughout, and chervil and thyme and just some other miscellaneous cool plants. So now that the work crew's here to pollinate all of this, it's time to flower. It's time to start fruiting. We're gonna be getting a whole bunch of movement in the garden over the next couple of months, and taking advantage of all of this space that we have to teach the locals and to demonstrate permaculture. And if this isn't a demonstration of permaculture, I don't know what is. This moment this morning blew my mind, and how that just, it's one thing when you catch a swarm. It's another thing when you walk out of the shop door and you hear thousands of bees, tens of thousands of them, all humming and moving into their hive that you placed there the day you left. And you come back 2 weeks later to see that happening. Like, that just amazed me, totally amazed me. God is really, really good. And we got some comfrey down here. The Egyptian walking onions are looking great. Super happy about that. And here before long, we'll have honey as one of our yields in this beautiful garden. Our garden bed over here is doing pretty good. The plants we put in here need water, and they're not getting it from the just being in here in general because of the placement. The hope was when I built this bed that I would be able to trim this back, give them some more sunlight, because I got things like peppers and tomatoes in here. But I didn't have time to do any of that yet. So I built the bed. I did a hugelkultur model. I threw in the peppers and the tomatoes. Rizzy got a few more things while I was gone, and then we took off. This is a good example of the rain that's been falling since we've been gone. And these mosquito babies all throughout here are going to become fertilizer in this garden bed. Then we got the pile of wood chips here. We got to move around. There's all kinds of cool things happening. So I hope it's a vote of confidence for you to just let nature do what nature wants to do, and just do what you feel you're called to. Like, follow that pull that your gut feeling is telling you to take action steps, and just take them, because chances are if you do that, resources will align themselves. I had an amazing mentor, Rob Avis, and while we were there visiting his property, he walked us out of the passive solar greenhouse, gave us a little tour, and on the way out he shared a story with us. And he said that he was visiting with Jeff Lawton, one of the first students of the permaculture revolution, and as he was before Bill Mollison died, Jeff Lawton was hanging out with him, and he says he walked up to him. Jeff walked up to Bill Mollison, which is the founder of permaculture, and he said, "Hey, like, what do I, how do I know I'm on the right path?" And he says, "You'll know you're on the right path when resources begin to align themselves for you." And as Rob Avis is sharing this with us, standing in his passive solar greenhouse, and I've got this big vision, I'm just looking at it like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to know what steps to take? Well, I just spent all this time trying so hard to help families with their beekeeping efforts, and to bring this revolution of natural beekeeping into TIAG. And I sacrificed the Mother's Day weekend. I sacrificed time with my family for 2 weeks. There's many things I can't say on camera that we did to make sure that this happened. On my drive home, I'm bringing my hives back that we ordered in excess of the deliveries to make sure we had some here. And this all happens this morning. I walk out and this massive swarm is moving into my hive. This was a huge huge colony. I mean, that's not a small swarm. So just feeling super blessed, super reflective. You know, and it was cool to have friends I could call and say, hey, come enjoy this with me. And he was working and he was just happy. He's like, yeah, I'm on my way. So he runs over to see it. It's just really fun to see. And, you know, because I've been traveling, I haven't really been able to participate with swarm season. So it was fun to know that the little steps I took before I left yielded something today. And just awesome. It's just awesome.